What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for a while now, when it comes to the Call of Duty community, we have been wondering what the heck is going on within these skill-based matchmaking brackets. People are getting frustrated with Call of Duty, they're getting tired of the overall experience, and a lot of people, believe it or not, are actually leaving the franchise just because of skill-based matchmaking alone. But, ladies and gentlemen, recently, Exclusive Ace and also Near Cinema has been tracking it as well, have been going deep into the actual notes. For those who don't know, you can actually go to the Activision website, we discussed it a little while ago, and request your stats. I think they date all the way back to Vanguard up to current date, and you can see basically how the matchmaking treats your account, what your skill rating is, win loss, KD, all that stuff combined together. And let me tell you guys something. Exclusive Ace actually found out some details that just makes Activision look like absolute scumbags in every possible way. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content just like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And of course, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, mostly Call of Duty right now. But of course, as you guys know, Saturday we do a random game. And I think this week on Saturday, we're going to be hitting up Gears of War. So if you guys are interested, you want to hang out, and you want to see how the vibes are over on there, by all means, you can find a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, if you watched the Exclusive Ace and also Near Cinema's videos on the skill-based matchmaking, pages, you probably know that the experience is pretty heavily manipulated to make sure that you're basically playing ranked at all times. But one thing that I have seen out of these notes here that I've, heard people dabble in this discussion a couple of times, but I think this is a lot deeper than a lot of people are making it out to be. But apparently, the limited time modes within Call of Duty do not track your skill bracket whatsoever. Basically meaning that if you go into the limited time modes, it means that you're playing with no skill-based matchmaking. Now, me, myself, personally, I've noticed this many times before. I've actually made a ton of videos back in Modern Warfare 3, where all the limited time, modes felt like there was nothing going on. Like, it was the most casual of casual experiences. Nobody was sweating their butts off. And I couldn't really tell if it was because, those type of game modes attracted more casual players, because let's be real here. The mass majority of sweats want to, sweat, right? And these limited time modes don't really offer that much flexibility when it comes to sweating. Now, some, definitely do allow you to sweat it out, but a lot of the time, they're very casual. They're very casual modes, so it makes sense that you see a lot of casuals within those modes. Sweats are going to typically go off to hard point, domination, modes where they can streak up, have plenty of time to streak up, and have plenty of time to rack up as many kills as possible. That's usually where, sweats tend to gravitate towards. But regardless, I still believed back in the day that the skill-based matchmaking was getting toned down. And this was also around the time where Sledgehammer Games came out and said that multiple different times they put out public tests where they are testing the skill-based matchmaking to see if, the community sticks in the games or if they leave the games. Now, you guys know me, I wasn't completely on board with that, although I did understand that they couldn't really tell the community that they were, stripping skill-based matchmaking. They had to do it on the low, or else they wouldn't be able to get very accurate results, which I completely get. But regardless, you guys know me. I don't like skill-based matchmaking within the casual side of the game, so I'm always on team no skill-based matchmaking when it comes to the Call of Duty casual experience. But to get back to the point here, right around the time when they were talking about skill-based matchmaking being toned down for tests, that was around the time of a lot of these limited time modes dropping and it being very casual. So in reality, a lot of the people playing these game modes kind of came to the conclusion that, indeed, there's no matchmaking and it's a stupidly casual experience. And fast forward to current date, that appears to be the overall truth. If you do gravitate towards more of the limited time events, like right now in Black Ops 6, if you go to Pentathlon or whatever you want to call it, you will probably find a lot more casual players in that overall experience. And that's not to say that, no sweats are playing the Pentathlon game mode, because there are probably sweats playing it, but that's just saying that the matchmaking brackets aren't trying to hyper-prioritize your skill when you enter Pentathlon compared to going into just casual matchmaking. Now, again, a lot of people are going to be probably thinking to themselves, JB, well, who cares? What's the point that you're trying to make here? The point that I'm trying to make here is that Activision indeed understands what a casual experience is. They know that in order to get a lot of people to hop onto these limited time modes and to, go away from all the other modes, it has to be a casual experience, You can't be sweating your nuts off in Pentathlon or people are going to play one match of it and leave for eternity, They want people to enjoy the limited time modes because they want people to dive into the events that they have for these limited time modes and potentially cough up more cash. So what do? They make sure that all the limited time events, once again, have no skill-based matchmaking. Now, yeah, there probably is some type of matchmaking, but compared to the casual experience where it tracks your skill rating for every match you get into, that is not the case within these limited time modes. And ladies and gentlemen, to me personally, that's just disgusting because guess what? Unranked in Call of Duty is the casual experience for the overall franchise. I thought, and a lot of other people thought, that I guess Activision was just stupid. They genuinely believed that in order to, prosper and give casuals the best experience, they have to go ahead and make sure the matchmaking is, 1-1. Everybody has to be the most competitive they've ever been, so on and so forth. But this is proving to be wrong here. Because now they are doing this in the limited time modes, knowing that they want casuals to hop onto these limited time modes. And what do they do to get more casuals to hop in? They reduce the skill-based matchmaking. So what is the purpose of having it the way that it is in casual unranked? What is the logic behind this? Well, there can be 1,001 reasons, but, in reality, I just think that the overall process here is mind-numbingly dumb. It really is, all across the board. Because the unranked experience is the casual experience within Call of Duty. We should be getting the exact same treatment as we get when we go into the limited time modes. It shouldn't be tracking your skill rating or anything like that. It should be tracking your connection and connection only. There is, I know I say this a million times over, but it has to be said again because it just seems like it never gets through their ears. There is a difference between unranked and ranked. In the ranked experience, people intentionally hop in knowing that they're going to be competing, knowing that they're going to be having a 1-1 experience where every match is probably going to go down to the wire, and they are opting into that experience. They want to indulge in that. But in casual gameplay, in the unranked experience of COD, people aren't opting into that. It's one of the main reasons why the majority of all my friends have bounced from Call of Duty. Or if they do end up playing Call of Duty, I bet you one thing, they're not playing with me. It's one of the best parts about XDefiant here is that everybody was squad up with me. I always had a full 6-stack. And again, I encourage people to try to hop into my Call of Duty lobbies because I'm always looking for people who want to hop into the open lobbies on stream. But nobody wants to because, again, the brackets are way too in-depth that, honestly, the majority of the time, there's only a certain skill bracket that actually wants to squad up with me. And XDefiant is the complete opposite. I have people with 2 KDs, 3 KDs, probably higher KDs who want to squad up. And at the same time, I have people with 1 KDs, probably 0.90, 0.80, 0.70, way down below, who still want to squad up with me. And you want to know why? Because skill isn't a factor when it, puts me into a lobby within XDefiant. The connection is a factor. That is the main priority, that we have good connection, and then whoever we go up against, it is what it is. Sometimes we'll get hyper-competitive matches where the lower-tier players in my squad aren't going to have that great of a time. But that doesn't mean every game is going to end up like that, and they're going to be forced to verse my bracket 24/7. We'll also get some games that are hyper-casual, where a lot of the higher-tiered players are going to end up stomping out, getting some good kills. But the lower-tier players can also enjoy that lobby and, slowly get into the mix and still get those enjoyable matches. They're not left out of the loop, right? There's a reason why in ranked, you can't play with certain, brackets. If your friends are, way lower than you and you're way higher than them, you can't squad up with them because guess what? You're going to be forcing them into hell, and it's not going to be a fair experience. So if you can't do that in ranked, my question is why do they force that in unranked? If they know it's an unfair experience in the ranked vibes, what makes them think it's a fair experience in unranked to play with friends in that environment? It just doesn't make any sense. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to go ahead and put this video together to just showcase that Activision knows how to keep casuals in the game, yet we are still in the unranked experience with the thickest matchmaking I've ever seen within any game out there that I could possibly think of. Even games like Marvel Rivals, and stuff like that has a matchmaking bracket, even in the unranked experience. But it's never to the degree of Call of Duty. For some reason, Activision thinks that unranked is literally ranked. And I guess their limited time modes are the unranked experience, but that's just stupid. It's nonsense. Unranked is unranked. Nothing more, nothing less. What they're doing with the limited time modes is exactly what they should be doing with the unranked experience. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed his video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. Like I said earlier, guys, we do stream Monday through Saturday. And this Saturday on the Random Game Stream, we're going to be playing some Gears of War. So if you guys are interested, which I don't know if many of you guys will be, but I'm a huge Gears head. So, if you guys do want to check it out, hang out with me. Again, hop into the open lobbies. If you guys do own, Gears of War 5, by all means, you can go ahead and do so. I got a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.